in a year without congressional action.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From Mason City to your hometown, we've got the information you need. Turn us on at home, work, and in the car. AM 1300 KGLO.
8:32 here at your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO, and Sybil Soukup from the Humane Society of North Iowa joins us as we're going to be together most Tuesday mornings, it sounds like, here for hopefully a long time.
Forever.
You and me forever and ever.
Bob.
Forever and ever. Hallelujah. No. Anyway, you're going to come in and talk about a pet each week.
Yeah.
That is at the Humane Society.
Mm-hmm.
And let's first of all, many people may not know where the Humane Society in Mason City is.
Correct. So we are located on the very east edge of Mason City, kind of right by here at Radio Park,
right?
Which I will always refer to it as Radio Park. Sorry.
Yeah, I refer to it as Radio Park still. That hasn't gone away. So
if you are heading east out of town from Mason City towards the high school, past Hy-Vee and Godfathers, and then just before the Winnebago River, you can turn right on South Birch Drive. And we are down that road about a half a mile. Okay. It's a windy road that's beautiful year round because it's right along the river. I see lots of animals out there. Right now there's I'm not a huge fan of these guys, but because they're kind of ugly. I love all animals and God's creatures, but these wild turkeys. Like there's a little pack of wild turkeys out there right now.
There's usually not too much that you can say positively about wild turkeys.
Delicious. I don't know. I'm supposed to be humane. Sorry.
You tried your best.
I know.
You were honest. But how long has that building been out there? Has it been almost 2 decades? Or how long has it been there? I can't remember when that was.
Let me do the math. So we were in our old building up on the north end in that old vet's office for almost 25 years. And then we broke ground and had a capital campaign in 2008 in that summer.
Okay.
And then we constructed and opened our building in July of 2009.
Okay. So it's not been quite 20 years yet.
Right. Getting there though. But yeah, we are in partnership with the city of Mason City.
Right.
There's 2 shelters in Mason City, actually, the Humane Society of North Iowa, of which I am the director of. And then also the Mason City Stray Animal Shelter, which is owned and operated by the city of Mason City through their animal control, through the police department. And then we are contracted to manage that shelter and provide care to the animals, facilitate reclaims, facilitate adoptions, that kind of stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, some people may not just realize, but I always run into people that don't realize the things in the community that are going on or have been there for a while or what their purpose is. So I always like to do a little educational tutorial for people that may not realize what things are.
I understand. This is a conversation I've been having now for, 15 years,
right?
16 years. But, common sense dictates that, yes, I would love to have a sign on the side of the road, a directional sign.
That points people that way.
Yes, because there is not one. Even though we also partner with the municipal animal shelter,
right?
It's an issue with the Department of Transportation because that's a state highway and there's whole, right of the road and that kind of stuff.
Maybe we can get that figured out someday.
Well, yeah. I used to have a head full of luxurious hair and now I've pulled a lot of it out. So
well, let's see. You got a pet to talk about today?
So first of all, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Of course, right.
Are you any part Irish?
I honestly don't know. I tried to wear the green that I wore is not exactly the
same.
The spearmint green type. Green,
I don't own any kind of Kelly green or any kind of bright green either. But that's a lovely shade of turquoise, which is one of my favorite colors. And then I'm wearing kind of a darker turquoise today because I too don't own anything green. And I guess I don't know where that little tradition came up and around. But it's interesting because you could do a DNA test to figure out if you have any Irish. If you're curious, in animals they do DNA tests all the time on dogs. And man, no matter what dog it is, it could be the biggest dog or, the most obvious dog. There's usually like a 1% part of that dog that's a poodle. So there could be a 1% part of you that's Irish.
Well, my sister is the family genealogist.
Oh.
And so I can answer that question easily. Just go to her and she'll give me every answer possible on any questions I have on family lineage.
Oh boy. Well, let me tell you about the dog that I wanted to talk about today. And I'm going to do a really big roundabout here because I like to, tie a dog to what we're talking about, something relevant, so you can remember them later. You can say, what was that Sybil yapping all about on the air this morning? Well, let me tell you. So today we're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, which is, celebrating, honoring a 9th century saint, Irish saint. And, but leading off into some Irish history, the potato was a very sturdy vegetable used in Ireland, because of growth and whatever calorie fill. But then there was the Great Potato Famine of 1843 to 47 to 53, and so
I didn't realize I was getting a history lesson today.
I know this is going to be on Jeopardy later on. I swear,
probably.
But that was happening in Ireland. But meanwhile, in the United States, potatoes were introduced to the United States more like in the 1700s by the Scottish and the Irish. Okay. So when the potato famine breaks out in Ireland, the settlers in America or Americans are thinking, well, geez, we don't want this potato happen because of disease. So we don't want diseased potatoes happening to us. So some, agrologist person developed a new variety of potatoes that are primarily used in the United States. Any guesses?
Oh.
What's the most popular kind of potato?
Russet?
And that is the name of our dog today.
Oh, well, so you did really go all the way around.
I know it's a dizzying mind game that we play here at the shelter. So Russet is the dog that we finally are going to talk about. He is a beautiful, beautiful potato of a dog, a pit bull mix. He came into the shelter back in November as a stray. We get in a lot of stray animals through the Mason City Stray Animal Shelter, animals that are just picked up, roaming. No dogs. There can be cats that are like born under the deck or, found in the alley that maybe don't have an owner, but they're thriving and surviving. But dogs, there are no wild packs of dogs running around our community. So all of these dogs that are at the stray shelter were someone's pet at some time. And then just for whatever reason, they lost their way, whatnot. And they ended up at the shelter. Such is the case with my pal, Russet. He is a dark brown and white patchwork kind of pit bull looking boy. Very, very handsome. He is, a people person. And there's no such thing as being too close for him. He wants to get in your lap and maybe give you a kiss if you allow it. Okay. But he loves to cuddle. He likes to lean on his people. Have you ever had a dog lean on you? Yeah. It's kind of a sign of affection for you. I love going for walks and having fun during playtime. And he's a great mix of being cuddly and active. So he's looking for a home where he can stay close and share lots of love. He'd make a great family pet. He seemingly gets along with everybody and everything. Of course, if you have a dog already, we'd have you bring that dog in to meet Russet to make sure it's a good fit. But Russet, again, he obviously had a home somewhere and then ended up in the shelter and nobody ever reclaimed him. So now he's looking for his forever home to be planted into his, thank you.
Planted like a potato.
He's got all eyes on his future. Oh, the jokes keep coming, Bob. So I'm sorry. So anyway, Russet is looking for his forever home. He's available for adoption at the Humane Society. You can come see Russet in person and see how handsome he is. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4, Saturday, 10 to 2. Or you can drop what you're doing right now, unless you're just driving, and get on your phone and look on our website and go see the adorable picture. We have 2 pictures of Russet on our website. And our website is hsni.org. That's HSNI is in Humane Society, North Iowa.org.
Now, one thing you mentioned, if someone already has a pet in their home, you have them bring that pet in just to see, if compatible, I guess is maybe the best word. But, people may not even think of that typically about needing to do that.
For sure. Yes. Well, we do that with all of our dogs because, dogs are like humans. Some of us get along great and some of us are, meow. Not us, but, some. But, these dogs, especially dogs like Russet who come in as strays, we really have no idea what their background is or what kind of home they might have come from. And so we don't know that he's ever actually lived with other dogs. Sure. And, gauging a shelter's true behavior, an animal's true behavior in the shelter is very difficult. There's a lot of hormones, a lot of noise, a lot of emotion. And so it's really hard to get a good read on, what he'd be like. And so, it's part of the adoption process where we have you fill out an adoption application. We sit down and chat about things and make sure that this is going to be a good fit for you and for him too. And then if the next step then would be for you to bring your pet in to meet him. That's kind of a neutral territory. We have a special room at the shelter that we utilize that's out of the kennel, and just make sure that they get along. We would absolutely never want for an animal to go to a new home and have them, feel insecure or on the defense, and for there to be something negative that could happen to your owned pet or to your adopted pet. So we try to, get all that stuff out of the way from the get-go and make sure it's going to be a good match for you and for them.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
As well.
I guess, corned beef and cabbage. Is that the traditional meal?
That's usually a typical. I'm not a cabbage person.
I'm a sauerkraut person.
Okay.
Yeah, but I, not with corned beef and so, and not on its own, but yeah, maybe I'll just have a Guinness instead.
That sounds just as good. So. Anyway, Sybil, we'll talk to you next Tuesday, I believe.
Yes.
So we appreciate you stopping by, and we look forward to many more conversations on Tuesdays.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
All righty. Sybil Soukup with the Humane Society of North Iowa here on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO. It is